Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I am surrounded by the most perfect combination of colouring supplies. Excuse my voice, I'm still battling with the dreaded C, which we won't mention. So Kathy, a wonderful subscriber, sent me the Ohuho pastel marker set. Now I've got a lot of them out because I've been playing, because I've never really done markers on a colouring book, but they are the most delicious pens. So inside you get a plastic sheet, and that's for you to put behind your page. You have to be quite careful because it's quite small. And then you get a little pamphlet about them all and blending and whatnot, which I've had a good look at. It's a really helpful little guide, and that sits in there. And then in it there are 48 of the most delicious colours, including a colourless blender should you mess up. So let's have a look at them. Let me take one out that I'm not going to be using, one that you can see. So this is what they look like. They're oval in shape. They've got the beautiful silver writing of the Ohuho art marker. On one side there is a bullet tip. Now my version has the little felt end because I don't get on with the brush tips very well. I think that's probably because I shake, but I find the little bullet tips are much better for me. What else can I tell you? So you get a grey line at the top here, which shows where your fine side is, and the other side is just blank for your broad nib. So that's really helpful, although I will keep messing up, I have been. And then on the top, if we come up to the camera and I block everything else out, see, this is why I do this, because you can't see. Okay, can you see? No, I can't. Alright, on the top is the colour number, there we go, the colour number and the name. So and that's on both ends, so you're not gonna mess up. So that's what they look like, and I am thrilled to bits with them. Inside the little bag also comes two really nice pieces of card for you to swatch them on, and this is what they look like. Aren't they the most glorious things ever? Just so beautiful. Now I've never blended with alcohol markers, I've never tried. I've done an alcohol base on pictures, in fact I've done an alcohol base on a Mystic Art mirrors, but I've never blended. So we are going to try simple blends today and a little bit of pencil over the top. So I'm going to put my little tickets back in so I don't lose them. We're also going to use, let me get some colours that you can see, the square Brute Funa pencils, if we need to go over the top of anything for a little bit of depth. And I chose those because I went through my pencils and they matched the closest I could get in matching colours. So without further ado, we're going to do a page from Mystic Art Mirrors in the Colouring Heaven magazine Fairytopia special. This is issue 84. Yes, issue 84. And now, controversial I know, but I selected this page because when I saw a flip through, I was like, well, why is some of it grey and other of it not? But this is really beautiful, and I saw the image that Christine Glorious Ink had done herself, and I want to try, and I've got paint all over my top and I want to try and sort of recreate that. So what I've done, because I like to save my magazines, I have copied it onto my paper, and if you're interested in this paper, it's on my wish list, which will be linked down below. If you go into my wish list and you want some, it will be in my list, so just go in and have a look and you'll find it there. It saves me keep putting it in the link each time. And I save it in my wish list so that should I want any more, I can go across and get it. So, let's get going. Okay, so I have practiced because you know what I'm like and I get all faffy and panicky. So, we're going to come in to the camera. I'm going to start with her skin because we will have to let it dry in between before we can do any other like pencil work or anything on it. I've got a couple of scrap bits of copy card clipped to the top of my page so it doesn't go through onto my mat. And we're going to have a go at her skin. So, I am taking, can you see that? This is, there, E494 Pastel Peach. My camera's trying to focus desperately on it. There we go. I'm going to have to lift it up. Sorry, Kevin. I know you said you don't like it, but I want people... I have people that don't speak English that watch my channel, and if I don't show them, they're not going to be able to follow along. Sorry about the Posca. Right, so we're using Pastel Peach and we're going in to do her skin. I was so impressed with these alcohol markers because they are gorgeous the way they work, that I found a really cheap set of 164 markers, which I can show you if you're interested, because they were really cheap. I think I paid less than £40 for them, and that was 164 markers. And they're good, but they don't blend like these Ohuho does. And I don't know what it is about cheap markers. Sorry, I'm just making sure there's no streaks while it's still wet. So I would say to you, if you're using alcohol markers, is not that I know anything much about it, I don't, but what I would say to you if you're using alcohol markers is if you need to stop the flow of your colouring, stop on an edge where it won't be seen, otherwise you're going to get streaks. So what was I saying? Yeah, but so I don't know what it is, a formula or whatever that... sorry, let me just keep going while so I don't get streaks on her face. That certain alcohol markers use, I don't know. But these ones blend beautifully, whereas cheaper ones just don't seem to do that. What is that all about? Does anybody know? And also, I've gone over the line. Oh, I cut her little toes off. Oh. Were her toes in the other picture? Yeah, I've cut her toes off. Right, give me 2 seconds, folks. I'm going to reprint this. Give me a second. Okay, so I've reprinted her so she's got a foot. And then I started colouring to catch you up, or for me to catch up. And I picked up the wrong marker. So that was helpful. Anyway, I've done the first coat on her skin, and I'm going to let that dry for a minute. The next thing I looked at was this branch, and I am going to, let me see, I'm going to start with, that light is blinding me, I'm going to start with, can you see? It's so difficult to show you these. E83 Lipstick Natural. Okay, and I'm going to use the fine end. And can you see where it's all the dark bits? So I'm going to go in, I'm just going to take my time and go in with this Lipstick Natural. And I'm going to fill in all the dark bits. And I'm coming up a little bit further because that is, let's come in slightly more, because that is where I'm going to blend my next colour over the top. So I'm just coming up slightly further than where I want that dark to end. And we'll try this. Don't scream at me if this is not how you do it. I have done a practice run and I really liked the way it came out. So please don't scream at me in the comments if I'm not doing it right or how you do it. This is just me playing and enjoying it. Okay. I'm just coming up a bit further there. Back to my fine bit. And we are going to do a bit of dark in there very carefully. I've missed a hand out, haven't I? We just do that so that she dries, otherwise we'll not be able to do the blending that I want to do. Same colour, which is, I'll tell you, Pastel Peach. Okay, so I'm going to want some dark round here, under where she's laying. And like I said, I'm coming out a bit further. So I know what I was going to say before I was rudely interrupted by the broken foot. Poor Fairy's broken foot. Yeah. Why is it only like Copics that you can get that are refillable? I do have a hack on my channel, which if I remember I'll link up there, to regenerating your dried out markers. But I would so love to be able to get refills for alcohol markers because they are really good fun. Okay, next colour is Further Colour of Skin, it's called. Excuse my battered fingers. E989, Further Colour of Skin. And I'm going to take the chunky tip and where am I going to go? Here. And I'm going back over where I blended that line before, and I'm coming up a bit further than I'd want. Careful around her skin, just so I can blend the final colour in. Okay, then I'm going to take Warm Grey. So this is Warm Grey 05. Sorry, 50. 050 even. And then I'm going over that. There, right, we'll wait and see how that dries. So we should have 3 tones, and I can always go back in or use pencil over the top. Right, skin. The next colour I'm going to take for her skin is R193, which is Fruit Pink. Can you see? Yes. And I'm going to take the fine end. Right, now where she's dark, I'm going to go in with Fruit Pink. Now don't be shocked because it does look very orange and very dark. So I'm going in here. I'll give her a little bit up here around her belly and over those lines, her fairy lines, and a little bit around her shoulder. And her arm. In there it'll be darker. Okay, around her little foot, we've got some dark patches here. On her toes. That is branch. Okay, and I'd coloured its skin. Just go back in with my darkest branch colour. There. Okay, and we're going to make a little bit of darkness around here. So this is an absolute first on the channel. I don't think I have ever used alcohol markers on the channel. So I have never felt able to, and you know, it's difficult because everybody's got different sets. Now that Ohuho's got better and everybody's loving them, it's okay, I think, for me to do this, because I know a lot of people have gone crazy for the pastel ones. And why indeed not? Kathy, they are beautiful, thank you so much. I'm so lucky. Right, I'm just going to put a little bit around here. With his fingers. A little bit on this side of her arm. Okay. Alright, now I'm then going to go back over with our palest colour, which was the E494 Pastel Peach. I'm just going to take the broad tip and I'm going right over that bit that I've just coloured. And she's going to look horrendous for a minute. She's going to go very orange. But you'll see when she dries out, it really blends well together. And then just because she's skin and I'm more proficient with pencil, I will probably, definitely, not probably, I will definitely go in with some pencils. So I'm just going back over everything, even that colour we've just put on. So we're going to do the same on her face. We're taking Fruit Pink and all these little dark areas. I'm going to put that Fruit Pink in. Over her lips. And we're just literally following Christine's work, where she's put the shadow in. Yeah, I wasn't impressed when I saw the grayscale, but when the magazine came, I saw a flip through of the grayscale. When the magazine came and I looked, I loved this picture. So I thought, well, we're going to have to try. That's going to be very pink later on with glittery bits, because she's a fairy. Okay, then we go back to our very light colour, and I'm going to go over all those places that I've just put that colour down. This will hopefully help to blend those in together. I don't know, like I say, I'm not an expert. I'm just playing. Okay, see, she looks very orange and bright at the moment, but she won't. She won't, people. Right, the little flowers. How are we doing for bleed through? Ooh, quite a lot. Yeah, I know what I was saying beforehand. Yeah. Oh, I told you, didn't I, about the hack. I told you about the hack. Right, I'm just trying to think what to do next. What's her skin? Flowers. Okay, so we're going to take that Fruit Pink again, and let's have a look at one of these flowers, shall we? Let's have a look at this one at the top here. So I'm taking Hollyhock. Ooh, that's better. Which I'm trying to keep my bitten fingers out of the way, I do apologise. 295 Hollyhock. And I'm going to take the fine end, and at the bottom of the flower I'm going to put that in. And then I'm taking Fruit Pink again, 193, and I'm going over that edge line. I'm going to bring that up. And just watch and wait, because once that dries, that blend is beautiful. Okay, so we're going to want dark in here, dark round here, dark at the side, dark at the side here. I'll make that all dark, that bit. And then I'm going to go in with the Fruit Pink. This is why I fell in love. When that dries, that is absolutely spectacular. So I've been playing with white. I've got all sorts of white pencils out. Let's do this big one. Because I found if you do, Christine's work has, sorry, concentrating, has all white outlines. So I'm going to try and do that. So I found once I've done the alcohol blending, if I did the white outlines first and then put any pencil on, it looks so much better. I don't know why, but so I'm just making sure that I get the edge of that last colour. Listen to me, I sound like an expert and I'm not. But I'm having so much fun. I really like it. Can you see? Yeah. So I'm doing okay. I keep going hot and cold. Sore throat, headache, all the things you would expect, but I am doing okay. I'm better than I thought I would be. I was terrified of catching it, and I get really tired. Obviously I get tired anyway, but very tired. And the usual aches and pains from the fibromyalgia are a lot worse, but it could be a lot worse, folks, so I'm counting my blessings. Isn't that cool? I just love it. And then when we add pencil, just to deepen up any other areas, it just looks magnificent. And the Brute Food Squares and this paper are in love. They're like a marriage made in heaven, I can tell you. Okay, so if we then look at that, sorry, they just, as they dry, they just look amazing. So she's still quite wet because I've gone back over her. I'm going to take the middle brown and go back over my tree, which is a further colour of skin, and I'm going to go back round and I'm just going to follow those details there. Okay, and this bit. And this is why I like the, I don't know what you call them, like small bullet nib, I don't know what you call them. Prefer these over the brush tips because I just feel I have so much more control. I'm going to do a little bit down here. And there's not a lot of difference between that grey that I put in and the middle colour. But it just does give a nice contrast. Okay, right, now we're going back in with the grey. Gosh, I keep picking up the wrong markers when I was practicing. It's like, oh yeah, I know the colour combination now, and I keep picking up the wrong ones. Okay, there we go. Right, I'm going to go back over that one. I'm going back over with the Lipstick Natural. I'm just not going right up to the edge. I can there because we've got lines, definite lines that are okay to show up. And we'll be shading with pencil anyway. Okay, just want to deepen that up. And then this side. So I can now see why people get very upset about books not being single-sided, because this is so much fun. And single-sided books have never really, it's never really bothered me whether they're single-sided or not. But I can see why. Now, if you want to use alcohol markers, what a difference. And I love how the two colours merge together when you blend them. And one thing I would say to you though is, what was I going to say? The one thing I would say to you is make sure you swatch them, and if you're testing out colour blends, test them and then let them dry completely, because they will look so different when they're dry. Okie dokie. So, okay, her wings are blue here and then into a very pale mauve. So, let's do the mauve colours. I have got the wrong markers in my hand. I have got, turn it up the right way so you can see. I've got Pale Hibiscus and Cotton Candy. Gorgeous, gorgeous colours. So they're going to come down just touching where these bottom wings start. So I'm taking Pale Hibiscus and I'm going to put that in. I'm just going to be brave and go for it, folks. There's nothing else to be done. Okay. And this is absolute stunning colours. Okay, and I'm going straight in with the Cotton Candy. I'm taking the wide end. And can you just see I'm just roughing up that purple edge, forcing them to blend together. Alright, there, then we have to let that dry. Gosh, this is a super fast colouring, isn't it? Okay, now, wings, these ends are all blue, this whole thing. So if I come out, oh hang on, I'll stay and just show you the colour, which is Frost, oh god, my fingernails, Frost Blue. I'm going to take that Frost Blue and I'm going over the entire of these wings. And I'm going to push it up into that purple. Oh, we're on camera. Yeah, so I'm just colouring. And this is why it's been so relaxing. Alright. And then you get a nice sort of blended edge. It's very clever. Careful around there. This paper's nice with, it's nice with ink tints. It's the paper I used with the ink tints for our calendar when we did Kelly's calendar. But it's also superb with the markers. So you're not getting that, it doesn't like soak it up and spread out instantly. Let that fade out. So you can go to the edge without it like running over the line. Okay, let's get this last little wing. It does feel quite bizarre, just straight colouring on camera. So you can use that chisel, that's it, chisel tip, and then I think it's bullet, isn't it? You can use the chisel tip to get in fine spaces. And it also allows you to colour big areas quickly. Now that will look horrendously dark until it dries. So I'm going to take that very light purple again, cotton candy, and I am just going to take the darkest bit and I'm just blending those two together. And what will happen is it looks like the top and the bottom of matte, and we've just got that nice pink bit in there because we get that hibiscus colour. Very, very clever. Right, let's come out and have a look. So this is where we are so far. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm just thinking, I've got the background colour sorted out. The leaves I'm going to have to do in pencil. Her hair is going to be blue. We could do a bit of that, couldn't we? So, if we take the purples, let's do her hair. Well, let's get the alcohol bit done, and then we can do the rest together. So her fringe is going to be purple. So I'm taking the pale hibiscus again. It really doesn't like it. Pale hibiscus. See, she's drying paler already. And I'm putting that in because that's our darkest, but this barely shows because the lines on her hair are so dark. So I have lined up some Brute Funa squares for us to use, just to pick out some of that colour. Then we're taking the cotton candy and we're going over that. So it's a little bit like we do with our pencils, isn't it? You go back over the edge, that the blend edge you've left. So it's a little bit like that. Okay, purple fringe, because why not? There we are. So you'll hardly see the blend because of the dark, how dark those lines are. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of purple round here. So I'm putting the dark colour in. And we're going to have dark here, purple here. So I'm only using the like two extreme colours, if you like. The darkest and the lightest. I know it doesn't show very well here, which is a real shame. because I found they blend better. The blend shows up more, like the flowers. You know, from dark pink to peach, and it works really well. We're going to have a little bit of blue here. So I'm taking the lightest, am I though? Yeah, frost blue. The lightest blue, frost blue, I'm putting that there. There we go. And right, the rest of it is going to be, I want that a little more blended. Oops. Okay, we're going to have blues in here. Blue in there. I'm going to show you the other colours in a second. We'll have blue here because we've got all that purple. And we could have underneath blue. And where else? This bit. We'll have those little hair bits. They'll be purple. So taking the darkest one. And like I said, it barely shows up because the grayscale there is so dark. But I have chosen some nice pencils to go with it. Blue there, purple there, and there, and we'll make that top bit purple, I think. So, oh, no, don't want that. So I'm going to go in the dark areas with our, is it pale hibiscus? Yeah, pale hibiscus, just following where all the dark lines are. And then a little bit of dark there, and then just going in with the cotton candy and going straight over all of those edges. There we go. Alright. Now, do I think that's a leaf or a bit of hair? I don't know. Right, hang on. Anyway, so I'm putting in the pale blue. I'll do those really fine bits with pencil. Right, the other blues that I've got are, can you see? So darkest is Lavender Mist, which is, it is a purpley colour, but that's okay with these two blends, and Galaxy Blue. So I'm going to take the lavender, which is our darkest, and obviously where we've got the dark bits, I'm going to put that in. Like that. We'll do this bit as well. And a bit there. Okay, and then the next colour down is Galaxy Blue. So I'm going to put that in. Bit there. Okay, and then we'll go back in with that pale blue. And put the dark one down there. And our Galaxy Blue. Aren't they beautiful colours? honestly, Kathy, oh, she brought me a beautiful colouring book as well that came with it. And I'm so grateful. It's so beautiful. Such thoughtful, lovely people. Okay. Do that. So I'm just going through that range of colours. And then just get the pale blue and go over that. There. Isn't that cool? Because they're pastel colours, I couldn't get a deeper purple. Now I suppose I could have mixed colours, but like I say, I'm new to alcohol markers. Let's have a look. So we've got we're using pale hibiscus and we're using cotton candy. So I suppose we could put, no, I'm not going to mess because I don't want to wreck it. It's not worth the risk, folks. So feathers, we are going to go in with the same principle down here. We're going to go in with, she looks so much darker than I did before. Anyway, lavender mist on, let's do this bit. I'm scribbling that in, but leaving a bit of an edge. Then our galaxy blue, scribbling. And we'll do that for all of these little bits. Okay. There we go. And then we will take the lavender, oh, it was a good job I looked, wasn't it? Take the frost blue. I would have been refilming the whole thing, people. And I'm going over that entire wing again. There. And then we have to let that dry. Okay, I hope you're happy with the blend. It is really straightforward. If I can do it, you can. Okay, so we'll have a look at this bit. Now, I'm going to go from dark into light on here. So I'm going to put these down in order. So I'm going to take the lavender mist. Oh gosh, lavender mist. And I want the fine side. And you've seen how to do those. So on these bits, I'm going to take the darkest colour and run it up the edge. Then I'm going to go in with the galaxy blue, which is our medium colour, and bring that out. Just going to go back in with that dark, that lavender mist. And then our frost blue. Well, you won't be able to see the effect of that until it's properly dry, but they blend spectacularly. Just make sure you've got the right colour. So each edge of these little feathery bits is going to be dark. And then medium, so our galaxy blue, and then our frost blue. Then we're going to go over with white gel pen. So, I'm going to put those down for a minute before I confuse myself. Let me come out. Okay. I can't do any more with the purples without pencil, so I'll show you those when we're done. I'm going to go off before we get too much and I get too overwhelmed with it all. I'm going to do all the flowers in the colours that I showed you. We're going to work our magic with gel pen and maybe some white Prisma pencil. or white pencil, whatever one you've got. And then I will be back shortly, and then we'll play. Alright folks, see you in a second. Alright folks, so I finished colouring the flowers and her, and I'm really pleased with how she's come out. I've changed my mind about the background, and I want to use pan pastels simply because the picture of Christine Glorious inks is a beautiful mix of really soft greens and blues in the background. So I've got some really low tack excuse me, some really low tack tape which my friend Michelle sent me ages ago. I did an unboxing. She'd sorted her craft room out, and this was in that box, so thank you, Michelle. So I am going to just put it on my clothes just to ensure that it's not too tacky, and what I want is just a bit of a border, and you can almost see where the image finishes. So I'm going to try and line that up. I should have put her central on my mat, shouldn't I? There. Okay. And then we're going to do the same down the edge. So I'm just tearing some off. Then I'm going to make sure on my t-shirt, I know you can't see, but I'm just putting it on my t-shirt just to take off any excess stickiness. And then we are going to see where that plant finishes. That's the edge I'm going to use. Well, I've got to keep her little toes in, so we might have to do a bit of improvisation around that leaf. Okay, and then the other side, just to keep a nice border. I mean, you can erase it, but... And the reason we're doing the background first is because while it's just alcohol inks, I don't have to worry about getting around all these little fiddly bits. We can use our eraser. And we can, where should we go to there? Does that look about straight? Oh, that's my tummy if you can hear it. Let's come in a little bit. There, I reckon. Okay, so she's masked off. Yeah, so the reason I changed my mind is we get a soft dreamy background, and also at the moment all we've done is alcohol inks, so when we put the pan pastels down we don't have to be careful worrying about getting around all those little bits. We can just get any eraser and it will rub out where we've gone over on our picture. So if I bring you in, I might have to move you around a bit, so just because now she's fixed. If we look at this bit at the bottom, I've got, and now I do have the soft tools, but I've got these and I wanted to show you. These are eyeshadow applicators from Amazon, and as cheap as chips, but they work really, really well with pan pastels, and especially little areas. So I've picked out the colours. This bottom bit all round here is beautiful soft greens, and then it blends into this blue here. So I've picked out Chrome Oxide Green. So we're going to start with that. Can you hear that little dog? Let's stop now. That'll be my sisters kicking off as usual. So we've got very dark round here, and I want to show you this, so don't panic. I'm going straight over her fingers. Don't panic, folks, and I'll show you just how easy they are to erase. So if you don't have the pan pastels, you can use any pastels or paint, or you could use soft pastels and do this with cotton wool. You'd get the same effect. Let me just show you now. Right, she's got horrible green fingers, so I'm just going to take my eraser, and any eraser will do this. and we'll get rid of it. Anywhere we've gone over, look. There. Simple as that, which is why I wanted to do it before we put any pencil work on it. So we don't have to worry about it messing up our picture and erasing our pencil work. So, okay, so the next colour I've got is Permanent Green Tint. I collected these over time and my friend panned it. I think it was one birthday or Christmas. I just stopped. Can you hear that dog? That'll be my sister's little dog again. Kicking off. He thinks he owns the street and that nobody else should be allowed out there. He's hilarious. Okay, so I'm blending that in. And you can use the soft tool, but I just wanted to show you as a cheaper alternative. And this might work, I haven't tried, but it might work if you scrape off some stick pastel and then use these. You might be able to... He's so funny. You might be able to use those too. Something's upset him, he's really going for it. I hope you can pick that up. Okay, and then finally, the final colour in the green is Chrome Oxide Green Tint. I hope I've done this the right way around. It looks like I have. And I'm going to take another little sponge just because that's lighter. And then of course I've got white to help us blend the whole thing through. I think I've done that the wrong way around, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So you get this soft, dreamy green look. I'm going to go back to that dark, and I think I might put a bit of dark in the corner. Here. Pull that up. Okay. And then, let's just try, I've got Hansa Yellow Tint. I'm just going to try and use that as a blender. If not, we'll go back over it, it doesn't matter. But green and yellow, really good combination. Okay. Alright, then we're going to get the white. So this is titanium white. You can get a colourless blender. I don't have it. Good grief. I don't have it. So I'm just going to switch to my... This is the soft tools that you get with them. I'm just going to make sure that's clean. On a bit of kitchen towel. I'm getting my white. I'm going to blend out that yellow. I'm going to go back in with our green. And if I don't like it, I can just take an eraser and get rid of it. Kind of obliterated that darker spot down there. Yeah, and it's just a matter of playing with it. But I really quite like that. Okay. Oh, there goes next door's dog now. He's going to have a go. Okay, so I'm now going to bring back all our flowers. I'm not so worried about the leaves because we're going to go over those anyway with pencil. And when I've fixed the pastel, you'll be able to colour over it. But I do need to bring those flowers back. There we go. There. Where's my little brush? Here. Okay, I'm just going to brush that off gently. And we're going to do the same around this edge. So Chrome Oxide green, and I am going to, we're going to go in where the, oh, why am I trying to be careful? I can just erase it. Where the darkest areas might be. I can cover up that mistake on her foot where I went out the line. I'm going to put a little bit down here. Okay, just going to wipe it off. Then we're going to go in with our, what was that? Chrome Oxide green tint. That's what I should have done that way. But it doesn't matter, because it all goes so soft into a lovely blend anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, and then just to fill that gap, I've got the permanent green tint. I'm going to put that in. And then that tiny little bit of that yellow, because we've done it on the other side, so we'll do it here. And it just will lift that. There we go. Alright, take my eraser, and where do we need? Alright, over the tree. So just round the branch. And you don't need an electric eraser to do this. I've got the little Tombow mono eraser. That would work just as well. But because my, problems with my hands, I love this eraser. It was gifted to me, and I don't think there's a day that I don't use it. I adore it. So on her wings. Another reason why working with alcohol inks is amazing is because of this. I need to blend there a little bit better, so I'm going to take the lightest of our colours, which was the permanent green tint, and I'm just going to push that in. There we go. And then you can erase little dots, like little magic fairy dots, but I'm actually going to put pencil over it. And then some, I think, some shimmery paint, so there's some little glowy spots. Okay, so we're going to move you back up so that you can get the top half of the image. There you go. Thank you for coming with me, people. So Chrome Oxide green. I'm going to go around this wing. I'm not going to bring it out so far because we need to blend out on that edge. We could have it dark one side, quite nice. Yeah, quite like that. Alright, keep going. And we are going to blend at some point into blue. So around about here we're going to start blending into blue. So I'm just going to lightly put that Chrome Oxide green in. Okay, going to go to our next colour, which is the Chrome Oxide green tint. I'm going to put that in and blend that together. And hopefully we'll have a nice clean crisp edge there. Make sure I've got all the gaps filled in. Come back with a bit of dark up here. I love experimenting. All these new supplies that I've been sent, I've really, there was a time where I was scared to do it on camera, but I've really enjoyed experimenting with you with new supplies. I really enjoyed it. And it pushes you out of your comfort zones, doesn't it? You know, I do anyway, I don't know about everyone else, but I sort of tend to, I'm using our lightest colour here because we're going to blend into blue, permanent green tint. I tend to stick to what's safe, or I used to, and not experiment, but like the alcohol, like the, what am I thinking, Distress inks, I followed Zucchini Kitty, my hero. I do love watching her, she's incredible. I followed Zucchini Kitty and learnt to use the inks. I'm just going to lift you up slightly more. And that I love now. Okay, we're going to blend into blue here, so I've just cleaned my little sponge off. And I'm going to take this blue, which is Phthalo Blue Tint. And I'm going to start bringing that blue in. We're going to have it up here. And we're going to blend that into that green, so they merge. Got some pencil sharpening bits there. Let's get rid of those. Okay. Then we're going to put in, you guessed it, phthalo blue. And we're going to have a dark corner. Okay, and I'm going to use the Phthalo Blue Tint, just cleaning off my little sponge. The Phthalo Blue Tint, just to push that colour back and blend it out. I'll put a little bit of dark down this edge, I think. Okay. Right, now I've got to remember where I need to erase. So, up here, let's bring this flower back. Like I say, leaves I'm not bothered about because we can go over with pencil or even alcohol markers once it's been fixed. Just make sure that I get everything back to the correct colour. And the other thing I love is watching that colour come back. This is so cool. I'm so excited about this. And you know what? Even with shaky hands, I can do this. So I'm dosed up with paracetamol and goodness knows what else to keep going. I'm okay. I keep coming over like really hot and cold, and I don't know if I told you this because it's the next day for me. To keep going, to fight off that the virus that must not be named. Poop. And I'm very tired. I mean, I know I'm always complaining that I'm tired, but this is exceptionally tired. So yesterday afternoon I did a bit of filming here, and then it got to about I don't know, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I just couldn't stay awake, so I had to go back to bed. And the next thing I knew, it was nearly 6 o'clock at night. My husband was home, and yeah, it was. And then I went back to bed and slept again, just pushing that blue in together. It's not nice. Right, so I am going to use the, let's just keep going, hang on a minute, sorry folks. Right, Anywhere else I've got it. Right, I am going to crack out the Tombow eraser. Where did I put it there? I'm going to use the Tombow eraser just to pull out those little buds again. Anywhere else? So you have to be really sure that you're done, because once you've fixed it, that's it, tough. It stays like that. Okay. So the little Tombow, oh I'm sorry, you couldn't see that down below there. Let's straighten her up and come out a little bit. Ooh, there we go. And I'm going to take, hang on, I'm just cleaning my little sponge off. Oh, you can see, that's good. I'm going to take the titanium white, and I'm just going to drop that in. Push that colour back a little, it's a bit bright. And I want it sort of soft and dreamy, rather than in your face. That's better. That's better. And this is the time to do it, because like I say, once you've fixed it, there's no going back. So I went back over those little buds, over her hand, and those little butterflies. Anywhere else, yes, a few little buds here. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Once it's fixed, if I'd forgotten about them, I can always go back over with alcohol marker. It doesn't matter. But little butterflies down here. Now I'm going to have to take it outside to fix it, because my chest with the unmentionable word is not good as it is, so I'm going to take it outside. I don't spray fixative in here because it does smell very strong. Okay, right, let me give her a bit of a quick brush over, and then we'll do a reveal of the, hopefully we've got a nice edge. I want this corner I don't like, so I'm going to take a normal plastic eraser. This happens to be a Derwent one, and I'm taking that corner out. I don't like it. And like I say, now's the time to do it. I like that corner better. And that's probably because I got the wrong colour in there. Didn't I? First of all, I was supposed to put the chrome oxide tint in, and I didn't. I did it the other way around. So we'll just get rid of it. And this is, it's good for you to see just how easy this erases. Which is why when I first started colouring, I was heavily into colouring pictures with pastel pencils, because it meant if I fluffed up, chrome oxide tint, yeah, it meant if I fluffed up I could erase it like you've just seen. And it just, that's how I've built some confidence up. That's better. I didn't like that it was the wrong colour. Okay, then we go into the permanent green tint, which sort of lifts that. That's better. That's better. Okay, and then the permanent green olive down at the bottom here. Push that up. There we go. Okay, go back in with the chrome oxide tint. I like that better. There we go. And even with pastels, there will come a point at which a paper says, no thanks, I've had enough. And you've like kind of filled up that tooth. So just be aware of that too. And obviously, if you keep erasing, you're gonna, you might damage the tooth of the paper. I don't know. And then we had a little bit of that yellow, didn't we? So let me add a little bit of that in. Tiny bit of yellow. I still want to knock back that sky a bit. I'm going to bring that blue down into here. Sorry it's taking so long, folks. I'm just enjoying playing and sharing it with you. I hope you don't mind. So a couple of bits of couple of methods today: alcohol markers and hand pastels. Right, let's erase. So we need to do a little itty bits there. Butterflies again. Let's get my electric one out. Tree. I mean, you can see where you've got pastel because it goes really dull, the image underneath. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay. Right, anywhere else? All those up there, look. Yee, I don't know. Right. Let me get rid of those. So like I say, it's not the end of the world if you miss some, and because you can go back over it. But I'm just showing you how easy it is to erase. And then we've got a nice soft pastel background. So in case you do have the markers and you wanted the combination, these were the colours I was going to use for the background, which are, I don't know, can't see, light holly green and yellowish green. Can you see those? I was going to use those. I still feel that might be a bit dark up there. So I'm just putting that, sorry, I'm putting that titanium white in, is what I'm trying to say. There we go. Alright. This poor girl keeps getting erased. I mean, I don't know what colour I'm going to do these butterflies yet, so it's worth me just erasing those in case I want to do it in like really pastel colours, because otherwise then once it's fixed it will show through. Alright, I'm going to stop faffing. I'm just going to gently brush it over, and let's take the tape off and see what we've got, shall we? Please work. So I'm really gently going to pull that off. There we go, just one strip. I can stop sweating now, it hasn't ripped the paper. Do this one just gently. There we go, and I can trim that side down if I want to, just to even it up. Lovely. And we'll do this one really carefully. Okay. Stuck on my paper clips. Ah, there we go. What that is. Some kind of dirty mark on my page. Brilliant. Right, leave it, Lucy, leave it. It's a little dirty mark. It's not going to kill anything. Right, check. Final check that you have erased everything that needs erasing. I'm going to have to go back over those. They're too fiddly for me to erase. It's just a little dot of alcohol ink. I don't know why I'm stressing. Okay, let me show you the... yeah, that happened. I didn't put the lid back on properly. Gonna have to get some more, it's nearly empty. This is what I use, which is a Frisk graphic art materials, pastel fixative, suitable for use with pastel crayon, charcoal chalk and transfer lettering, and it's acid free, but it stinks. So I won't be spraying that in the office. I'm going to take that downstairs, fix the picture, and then we'll come back and carry on. Alright folks, I'll see you in a second. Okay, so she's completely dry and nothing comes off when you rub it. She's all ready to go. So the next trick that I want to try is whiting out all the lines, and this is going to take some time. So you don't have to do it this way. I'm going to try it because my hands shake so badly and I can't get decent lines on things. So if I come in, I'll show you what I've got. Oh, hang on. Oh, dear me. Emergency with the camera. Sorry about that. It got stuck on the tripod again. Right, so now I'll show you what I've got. I got a pack of these Arteza acrylic marker pens. They are water-based ink, and it's supposed to be titanium white. So they're actually very good. They've got a plastic nib on them, a bit like the Posca, but they're not opaque like the Posca. Just letting you know. And the reason why I like this is because what I can do is go round and give a white outline where I need it, and it won't be so dark. And when it's completely dry, and I can then go in with my jelly roll, which is really white, and if I make mistakes like my hand wobbles, it doesn't look so bad. So I'm going to take the Arteza pen and I'm going to cover up these lines. It's working a bit better than it was earlier actually. It's working a lot better now. But you can see just how shaky I am. And this is another reason why I wanted the background in first, because we are going to white out loads of her, loads of her. Oh, one thing quick I wanted to say to you is I've been colouring Hannah Carlson's, where is it, Magical Dawn, and I'm doing this heart for her, and I want to post that on her thing. Now, is there already a community thing where people are posting for Hannah Carlson, or shall we do one? If there isn't, let me know folks please, because if there is, I'd really like to contribute and post that picture somewhere for her so that she knows that we're all thinking of her. I mean, it's just awful, poor Hannah, you know, to have the news of a brain tumour. I can't imagine what that poor lady is feeling. So if there isn't a community thing going on, I'm sure there must be. Shall we start one and start swamping her with love? She's given us years of pleasure, hasn't she, with her artwork, and So we can now give her that back when she needs it. But yeah, so if there is something, hashtag or something like that you know of already, let me know please, will you? And if not, we'll set one up. We'll get it going. So this basically, all it is doing is going to give me a little bit of leeway when I put down my gel pen. And also, if you only want to dull the lines out, it's quite good, but they're definitely not, it says titanium white. They're definitely not giving me titanium white. So I'm a bit disappointed. There we are. They do draw nicely though. They kind of sink into the ink, into the page, because of being water based, and then you lose it. It just, like I say, just helps me with having really shaky hands. So already we're losing those really dark black lines around her that we had. We are going to do that all over her. So all over her body, and this is before we do the skin with pencil or any pencil work. We'll do the pencil work afterwards. So she's going to be completely whited out the next time you see her. So all these really dark lines will be gone with a nice white outline. And if you've seen Christine Glorious Ink's work, Mystic Art Mirrors, all her ladies have got white edgings or outlines. There we go, and that will sink in and just give me a more of a grey line, and when I put white down, it's less obvious that I'm really shaky. And I will be using, so I'm going to be using the Arteza acrylic marker, and I'm going to be using Jelly Roll the 1, which is the wider one. And then for the finer lines, Jelly Roll 8. You don't need all of this, but oh, could you see those? So 1 and 8. And also I've got the Uniball Signo, which does really nice fine lines too. But whatever works for you folks, whatever works for you. So let's come out and have a look at how far we've got if the camera doesn't get stuck. Okay, here she is. So I'm going to call this for part 1. I will go away and white line her with everything, and then we will come back and we're going to do the pencil work, finish the background and put all the detail and the glitz and glamour in on her. So I hope you've enjoyed it folks and stuck with me. I have loved it. I really, really have. Kathy, thank you so much for my beautiful gift. I love them, and what an experience. So yeah, I've loved them enough that I went out, like I said, and brought 168 markers to play with. They're only cheapo ones, but you know, got to start somewhere, haven't we folks? So please let me know about Hannah Carlson, if you know of anything where we can swamp her with love. I'd love to do that. I mean, other than just tagging her ordinarily on Instagram. I didn't know if as a community that we're doing something massive for her and all getting together with pictures and pages. I don't know. So please let me know what you think. Alright folks, thank you so much for watching and spending your time with me. So I will carry on now, whitening her out, and I will be back really shortly with part 2. So until then, take really good care of yourselves folks. Night night.